Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. As I mentioned in my last video, today's video will be my keep or delete in preparation for my 2023 planner. And as you have just seen, to be able to make these decisions of what I want to keep and delete, I started going through my 2022 setup, and you'll see throughout the video how I've used both that part 1 and part 2 to help me decide what I'm going to keep or delete for my 2023. So what you're watching now is basically just how I set up this page. I know if you have seen my December plan with me that I briefly had part of this setup in there, but I just thought I'd have a little bit more detailed. If you wanted that, and if you wanted to recreate it, then you can just see how I put together this spread. So if at this point you are not yet subscribed to my channel, I would really appreciate it if you hit that subscribe button and the notification bell so that you are made aware when I post my videos. And if you want to, you can drop a comment and also hit that like button. So just to explain a little bit about what I'm doing here, my December theme was snow globe, Christmas trees and snow. So here I've used some craft paper in the middle, which is where I will write most of the information, and then along the bottom I have a scene of trees and snow, and along the top I've got obviously the header using the same hand lettering as I have for my December plan with me setups. Didn't want to cover the whole page in blue, although I believe that probably actually would have looked okay. But yeah, I didn't want to cover it all, so I just did a little strap line, and then I will dot some snow in that, and then along the bottom I've obviously got the trees. So the main materials that I'm using for today are the Crayola Super Tips in green, well, 2 shades of green. I'm also using a blue, and then I have I'm using the WH Smith Dual Brush Pen for some of the details in the blue as well. And then for the white, I'm using the Sakura, I hope I pronounced that right, jelly roll in, I think, the 10 nib size, if that's what it is, and using that obviously to create the snow effect as well. Okay, so we're now going over into the main part of this video, which is looking at my keep and delete. So we start off with looking in my 2022 bullet journal. I know the pages are really thin. I'm so glad that I found Scribbled and Dot and learnt about actually how thick a paper needs to be for a bullet journal. But yes, you learn from your mistakes, don't you? So now starting off, going page by page, thinking about what I want to keep and what I want to delete. So I start off with the main cover page. We all love a good cover page. So definitely will be keeping that, and also a quote to take with me for the year. Future logs, I've got a little bit of a love-hate relationship for it, because they are useful right at the beginning of the year, but towards the middle end of the year I tend not to use it so much. So I've noted down that I just want a minimal future log. Not sure what that will look like yet, but definitely not as colourful as that. Definitely also want to keep my intentions, and I use intentions rather than goals. Not sure why, but I just find the word intentions sits with me a lot better than goals. Then I've got my bookshelf and travel log. I have traveled quite a bit this year, so it has come handy, but I've decided to just, if I know I'm traveling that month, I'll create a spread for that. Bookshelves, haven't really used, don't really read a lot, although I have increased the amount I've read this year. But what I'll do is not necessarily have a bookshelf, but just keep a section in my bullet journal for where I want to just take note of the books that I have read, maybe kind of rate how good I found the book, or kind of like add a summary, things like that. Again, not sure what that will look like, but definitely not like a bookshelf. Highlights and themes of 2022, delete. You can see that I actually did use this for the most part. In September, when I started using my bullet journal less, that's when you see it fall off. But actually, it was pretty cute to fill in each month. But what I'm going to do instead for the highlights is have a memories page at the end of each month, rather than just a small section here, basically. So you'll see that over the next couple of months of how I'm going to start using the highlight pages. Then we have the YouTube and Instagram planning. Again, at the start of the year, I was really using this, but because now I have found a different way of working with YouTube and Instagram, I'm not necessarily going to have this page here, but I will be using, say, my phone or my calendar on my phone to be able to plan and prepare for that a little bit better. Because to be honest, I don't really look back at this throughout the month. I might write down some rough ideas at the start of the month, but then not necessarily come back to it at the end. So it's a bit of a waste of time for me, really. So then next we go into my 5 love languages and lifestyle plan. At the start of last year, these two were really, really important to me, but I have found now that actually, especially the lifestyle plan, I recognize that life changes so quickly for me that it's just not ideal to have a set plan for every day or every month, etc. So I'm gonna get rid of that, but then really at the end of each month or beginning of a new month, I'll just think about what I need that month rather than having a set schedule or set routine. Five love languages I will be using to help me set intentions, but I don't necessarily need a separate spread for this, so that's why those two are being deleted. Then we go into my study plan. So this has been really helpful when I've used it to plan out my studying, in terms of my assignments, presentations, things I need to do. You'll see that in part 2 2022 I changed that a little bit, and I didn't quite like the way that I've done that. So I'm going to keep my study plan, but again, that's going to look a little bit different from what it did in the second part. So bye to that planner, and hello now to this new planner, which I did part 2 of 2022 in. Triumphs and refinements, love it. It's something that I found from, I believe it's Reflect with Raksha, and I use this at the end of the year, start of a new year, to help me really just hone in on what's going well and what I really want to focus on changing. So I'll do that at the start of the year and probably midway through as well. So again, some of these pages were similar to the one that were in my first bullet journal. Another thing that I'm deleting is my self-care page, again because I recognize that my needs change quite often, whether that be week to week or month to month. So what I'll be doing in my new bullet journal is similar to what I've been doing recently, just checking in with myself at the start of the week, thinking about what I need, etc. Then we have my scripture page. I was really trying to get into my spiritual self-care, and again it started off really well throughout the start of the year and fell off again. And I think it's probably because it was one of those that I was using to create content for. So actually, if I just think about that, this is something that I want to do for me, hopefully that will help me just keep more consistent with it. So this is the academic plan that I just didn't like. I'm not sure why I wasted my time on that. So that's going. And also my quotes page, because again, the way I use my bullet journal now, I tend to just use my affirmations week by week or on a day by day basis as and when I need it, basically. So because I've started using my bullet journal in a different way, I am really getting rid of schedules and feeling like I need to schedule things every month. So my bullet journal layout will continue as it has been over the last couple of months. I will always have a monthly cover page. I really like designing that and having kind of like a theme. but I will be getting rid of weekly layouts and schedules because it just doesn't work for me. I have other ways that I use my schedule, but just doing daily pages and journaling when I want to rather than feeling like I have to has really helped me enjoy bullet journaling a little bit more now. So that's what I'm going to continue doing. I'll also not do content tracking, planning, or any of that. I'll just continue using my phone or my calendar, etc. And then just to finish off, I'm going to keep my I need pages and writing down affirmations, things to remember to help me just keep motivated, positive, and just generally just looking after myself. And one thing that I forgot to mention was keeping habit trackers and calendars as well. So that's what I'll be taking over into my 2023. Thank you so much for watching. I know I have spoken quite a lot, but I do look forward to seeing you in the next video.